Brexit Live, you're welcome. Farage says Tory manifesto is copy of UKIP's 2015 pledge. Nigel Farage has described Boris Johnson's Tory election manifesto as a copy of the UKIP document he drafted in 2015. Mr. Johnson is already facing scrutiny after his election promises were called into question by Labour and fact-checkers. And now Mr. Farage has claimed much of the Tory manifesto bears an uncanny resemblance to the pledges he made 4 years ago. The Brexit Party leader said, "I recognise much of the Conservative manifesto because they're things that I have campaigned on for years, such as hospital parking charges." Much of the manifesto was in fact in the UKIP 2015 manifesto, even recent ideas that I've announced like not exporting plastic waste for dumping in landfill in China or elsewhere, that's in there. So, I'm pleased that they are changing the agenda. They're even talking, maybe, about reducing immigration levels and of course Brexit. So, I do feel that I recognise a lot of it. My question is, do they mean it and are they going to deliver? Mr. Farage also said he is concerned that Boris Johnson's plan to bring the withdrawal agreement back before Christmas could lead to Brexit in name only. He said, "I want to get Brexit done, as does the country. Not just Brexit voters but now a large chunk of Remain voters just want this over and done with. Getting it over and done with is one thing, getting it over and done with properly is quite another, and that is as I see it now the role of the Brexit Party, to get Brexit done properly." 8:29 a.m. update, Merkel clashes with Macron as EU tensions rise. Angela Merkel has launched a furious attack against Emmanuel Macron, saying she is tired of picking up the pieces as tensions between the EU figureheads edge closer to breaking point. The German Chancellor told her French counterpart, "I understand your desire for disruptive politics, but I'm tired of picking up the pieces. Over and over, I have to glue together the cups you have broken so that we can then sit down and have a cup of tea together." Earlier this month, the French president launched another broadside towards his global allies, warning a lack of leadership is causing the brain death of the NATO military alliance, questioning whether its commitment to collective defense still existed. 8:02 a.m. update, Sir John Curtis warns of more Brexit delays under hung Parliament. Political scientist Sir John Curtis said voters face a clear binary choice in the 2019 general election, warning the UK will undoubtedly head towards an extension if there is a hung Parliament. He said, "This is pretty much a binary election. Hung Parliament, then we're almost undoubtedly heading towards an extension and a second referendum, and Lord knows what the outcome of that will be. Or we get a majority and we go out on January 31st and Boris is charged with the task of negotiating an alternative outcome. Ironically, at the end of the day we've kind of stumbled into this election, but as the way it's turning out, it's actually providing us with a fairly clear binary choice. At least so far as the implications of the various outcomes concerned." 7:30 a.m. update, author applies for Irish passport. The author behind the Jack Reacher thriller series is reportedly applying for an Irish passport due to Brexit. Lee Child, whose real name is James Grant, has sold more than 100 million books. He lives between the UK and the US but is entitled to an Irish passport as his father was born in Belfast. The author said he wants an Irish passport to avoid the possibility of post-Brexit travel restrictions in Europe. He told the Irish Times, "I haven't got the passport yet but I will do very soon. It feels like I'm cheating to be honest as I will get in the back door."